Is that better? Can you hear me now? Yes? No? Maybe? Hello? Still can't hear me? That's not flashing. Hang on. You can hear me. Okay, awesome. Right. Yeah. So, let's see. What's happened? Um, been working on this. I've posted this in a Dungeon Crawler Carl Facebook group, and it is currently going absolutely bonkers. Um, I've had multiple people wanting to buy this off me. It is time to call it up. Um, this one's not for sale, however. I don't have the licensing for it, so yeah, unfortunately. Um, gotten some emails from people regarding sponsorship for an event that's coming up. So I'm just processing. It's been a big day. um, along with the ergo egg stuff. Um, I'm getting more and more people, places, things interested and involved, which is cool. So yeah, we'll get stuck in now. I've been working on a little bit, sort of in the background of things as well. So we'll go back to this one. So this is where we're up to on our base at the moment. It's pretty much finished. Now, don't mind the glare. Once we put the sealer down, that will disappear. Um, the only thing that's missing at the moment is the explosions, which I've been working on today, and I've been working on a little bit of a recipe for the explosion. So as you can see, it looks pretty cool. It looks very almost animated and cartoony. I've added a little bit more speckle on for bits and pieces. But we're going to do some dry brushing first up today and get the last little bits done. And then we'll stick it on the base, and then we might start one of our figures. So, a little bit of background on this. So, this is an explosion STL file that was for free on the internet. Maybe maybe from a cookbook. No comment because there's some people out there that haven't read the books yet. But keep that in mind, and keep that in mind about how the books appear in real life, and the certain things you can do with certain colored lights on the books. You'll be able to do something similar with this. Um, oh, hello. Everybody's here. We got Bane, we got Dino, we got Weasel. I don't actually have any drinks today, Weasel. I'm not drinking paint water. Um, so yeah, we're working on this. The recipe so far for this is the explosion primed white, so completely white out everything. Um, then go over with the Monument Hobbies fluorescent yellow, completely coated. Then with a mixture of the fluorescent yellow and the fluorescent orange, um, go in at a 45-degree angle. So holding it upright, 45-degree angle would be here, and concentrating around the outsides, as you can see, of the model. Then mixing the fluorescent orange and fluorescent red, which is that one there. So those two from Monument Hobbies go in at a deeper angle, so almost 90 degrees to the explosion itself, and just do the outermost edges. So as you go around, it'll catch the light. Then you go in with straight fluorescent red just on the very tips. And then we're going to be dry brushing some grays and blacks throughout there. So that's where we're up to now. And we're starting out with black. Not as much as you would think, funnily enough. It looks potent, but it's only looking potent because it's on a bright white. And the white that I used to paint this was a bold titanium white, and it's the one from Liquitex. I actually went through and thinned this down slightly and applied it all over with a sponge, which has given us a really cool effect, like a sort of a blast effect, which is going to help us out. So our first step is we're going to dry brush in some black. Now, important thing to remember with the dry brush is when you have a dry brush, you will get a chalky finish. When you have a slightly damp to the touch dry brush, you will get a lot smoother finish across the model. So I do it so it's you just can feel the slight dampness. Now, this is great timing. You're painting an explosion right as the Gap band comes on the radio. The Gap band? What what song is this? The Gap band. Unless I directly listen to it, or it's music that is like stuck in my playlists. It sounds familiar, but I just can't place it at the moment. You dropped a bomb on me. Ah, right. Okay. So we're just going to go in with our dry brush. So sooty. And we're just dry brushing the ends of our points. Now we're going in with the darkest first. And then we're going to go in with our lighter colors. And you'll see why shortly. Now, because of the popularity of this thing and people wanting to know more about it from the Dungeon Crawler Carl Facebook group, I may have someone asking about a tutorial slightly related, but not really. They're having trouble painting eyes and they would like some help. So if they drop in, we'll give them a hand. Because that's what we do. So how is everyone today? And if it is Friday, I hope you're getting down on Friday. I'm just going back and forwards. Been a good day so far. Easy work. Nice. So this is our primary explosion, which is going up near the Carl word. And we've got the secondary one. Whoops. My sticky isn't sticky anymore. Still working on my first few minis. Looking forward to the rest of my stuff turning up. Ah, nice. Yes, I'm still waiting on a package from Spain to make its way here. So we're playing the waiting game. Now, when I get a little bit into the figure, I'm going to start plastering this all over Instagram and Facebook and the like, because I want to see if I can catch a certain author's attention. We'll see what happens. Anyone remember the scene from Young Guns? Make You Famous? So I think that one's all right. So we'll move on to the little guy. Stick him back down. Need to get some more museum tack. These other tacks, not much tack. Keep an eye on the Gen Con posts. If it hasn't really wrapped up yet. Why? What's happening at Gen Con? Cinnamon and hazel there. Ah, right. Wait, wasn't Gen Con the one that there was a tornado at or something? Isn't that over then? I don't know. Museum tack is any better than blue tack. Less residue, I'm guessing. Yes, yes. Museum tack is exactly like blue tack, apart from the fact less residue, stays stickier for longer, doesn't dry out like blue tack is prone to do, and it doesn't mark. More importantly, um, I normally have some, but I ran out because I put it in the. No, I think I gave away some. I didn't have any to put in the batch, so I just used normal blue tack. So, yeah, I need to reorder some. Now we move to our next color, which is our dark neutral grey. I thought Gen Con was earlier. Yeah, I'm sure it was too. Unless it's a lot bigger than Australians realise. That's entirely possible. We do lead a bit of a sheltered existence. So now with the grey, we're going just a bit smaller. And then we'll go in with a light grey, and then we'll go in with a grey and a white. The really sort of mild tips. Now, I will have to pause briefly for a moment. I'm going to be bacheloring it this evening. My wife and son are spending the night in the city with a relative that's come up from Melbourne. And I've got too much stuff to do. I'm too busy to stop. So even after stream tonight, I will be continuing on this, no doubt. Because I'm really liking how this is coming along. And you all can't stop me. You hear that? You can't stop me. Turn off your breakers if it's a challenge. No, you can't. Because I know for a fact that you wouldn't be able to get in there. Need to tell me when you get through book 8 so I can talk without spoilers. Ah. I think I'm chapter 8 on book 4 at the moment. So you keep your secrets, Gandalf. Got quite a few shenanigans, yes. It's been difficult. The person who's staying with us has literally just started reading the first book. And it's like, it's probably how you feel right now. Spoiler is never late. It is always precisely when he needs to be, or when he needs to arrive. Mr. Baggins. Imagine if Severus Snape, I mean, Alan Rickman, was tapped to play Gandalf. Mr. Baggins. Fly, you fools. That's just wrong. Let's just screw with the canon. Hey, yo, they're taking the hobbits to Isengard. I'd have said, nor is he early. Running feature of spoiler is the early knowledge. So, yes. Yes. And one more shade. I'll let that dry and I'll go back to the big one. Just do those outer edges. Just so I can. Just going to have a look and see over on YouTube for a second. View my channel. I am live. Let's see if the relay is working. I haven't had any people chatting from. We've got one watching. Hello. Now I'm just going to mix in a bit of white. White. Now this is a white ink that I've mixed in. It's just going to be about a half shade lighter, just on the very ends. Like that. Boom! Spoiler arrives precisely what it means to. Welcome, supervisor. You you have arrived precisely when you meant to. But yeah, this post that I made on this this Facebook group, the Dungeon Crawler Carl Facebook group, the biggest one, there's like 145,000 members or something crazy. They are loving this statue, making me wish I had the rights, the merchant rights to sell all the bits, because I just keep pumping this out and I'd make a fortune. Um, it's called the Dungeon Crawler Carl Facebook Dungeon Crawler Carl fan club, or which one is it? Let me check. Dungeon Crawler Carl Matt Dinnerman with a yellow love heart. The post is currently 142 likes, which is ridiculous, especially for something that I've done. But just about ready to glue these guys on. To avoid Facebook for anything that isn't marketplace for the sake of my own sanity. Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, e-commerce, social media, intertwined. Yeah, where'd my glue go? I thought I grabbed it from there. See, 2 seconds here. Okay. All right, so just going to move this out of the way. Grab that one there. And lay this down. You know what's funny about Facebook? I decided to age up my account to 116 years old. Got even more. So, our first one, I've got it to sit. There we go. Oh, I'll move the camera down so you can see. There we go. And a second. Hey, Hograt. How you going, mate? Ooh, brother. Ooh. Just waiting on this to dry. And there we go. That looks cool. Because let's see. Now. Keep it penned, please. I'm happy with how that's looking. All right, I'm going to quickly set it up so we can see what it looks like. So that is funny, but there is yes, there is context and limitations and things. I'll move the camera back. Um, how do you get the dry brushing so consistently smooth? Only one of mine comes out nice to me. I talked you through it. No, I'll happily go through it again. When you do your dry brush, the best way to start dry brushing is with a wet brush. And when I say wet, I mean only ever so slightly damp. So you get your brush that you're dry brushing with, you dip it in water, you dry it out, touch it to your hand. If it still feels wet, tap it out, dry it a little bit more. You want it to you don't want it to feel wet, you want it to feel cool against your skin. That's when you're ready to put paint on it. Put paint on, brush away on paper towel to get till you get to the consistency that you want to work with, and then apply. Never go straight from palette to model. It'll only cause problems. Yeah, I will see if I can get that. Yeah, hopefully that's enough. Now, I have another little extra bit in here as well, which I'm going to be doing something special with. But I'll show you that on camera briefly. So that little cup is going to be inside the O, and that's going to be gold plated or gold leafed. So that's another step. But I reckon that background looks amazing. I'm really happy with how that came out. So I'm going to take a picture. I'm not. There is not enough room for Mordecai. Because if I add Mordecai, I'd have to add um, Katya. And they will be posted. So now that our background's done and it just needs sealing, I know it's tiny, but he doesn't go out with them in battle. So technically, because explosions and Mongo, technically, they wouldn't have him out while they were out. I'm not doing Samantha yet either. This is not spoilery too much. However, well, there's too many lights on. I'll see if it'll do it. I am working on various elements with certain things as well. So as you can see, this is a black light. I'm just shining it on the explosions. So if you wanted, you could showcase it with a black light. To be fair, Florin Cutyer and Ellie would be amazing additions to the setting. Absolutely, they would, but there's not enough room. There is just not enough room. I mean, Ellie, I could like if it. Oh, now if I'm going to do a book nook, that's going to be different. One per book, a progression. Well, does Carl get um 1 floor per shelf? Oh God. Oh God. Um, does Donut get Mongo in book one or book two? I don't remember. Because I'm listening to them audiobooks back to back, as soon as one finishes, I start into the next one. I forget which book I'm on. Because I've got them all queued up. Shelf 7 would be trivial. Book one. So she does get him in book one. Okay. So who are we going to paint? We need to figure out who we're painting. Are we going to go Mongo, Carl, or Donuts? Should I do Mongo? We've got 1 vote for Mongo. Come on, there's 8 people. I need at least 5 votes for Mongo. Back to front. Come on, people. Hang on. Can I do a poll? I can. We've got 2 for Mongo. We've got 3 for Mongo. Hang on. I'll see if I can do a poll. Create a new poll. Question. Who to paint first? Since Mongo. We'll put that poll up for 5 minutes. Mongo, best boy. Lol, you got auto modded twice because you said the word Mongo, but nobody else got picked up on it. You got auto modded, I think, for best boy because BOI because it treats that as slander, and then you got modded for possible offending someone with a disability by saying Mongo. That's crazy. So let's see. Oh, it's actually doing stuff. Okay, cool. So yeah, there's a just to get Twitch to shut it. So there's 8 people in chat. We've got 3 votes for Mongo. Unless someone landslides Carl or Princess Donut, I think it's going to be Mongo. Yeah, I think it's Mongo. All right. So now I'm not really sure how we're going to tackle Mongo, to be perfectly honest, because of certain elements that are ambiguous in the story. So he is feathered, yes, or has feathers, but the feathers, when he's level 15, don't really cover his body. Don't add Odette. Oh, why not? She's my favorite. Now, I'm not sure how I'm going to tackle Mr. Mr. Mongo. Need a certain style of base. I don't know if I've got one made up or not. I don't have one made up. Okay, this is going to be fun. So I'll set that just there for a second. See if he is. Yes, good, good, good. Oh, you know. Oh, content moderate. Yeah, true, true. Very true. Let me just get this prepped. How wide's his stance? Wide. Yeah. Let's see if anyone else voted. Any lurkers voted on that. Only the 2 people have voted. So this double-sided tape is actually from Timu. I picked up about 4 rolls of it. And it is strong stuff. It is really good. Little bit of heat and it'll stick to anything. But we were talking about Mongo's color scheme. Who to peg first? Mongo, the poll has ended. All right, Mongo it is. Fine. Um, So yeah, in the books, he starts out as a little pink fluff ball, but then quickly gains levels and bits and pieces, and more synopsis gets said about him, and um, he is. Sure, that's stuck down. Described as, and I'll bring up the description of him briefly. Mr. Mongo. I might have to zoom that camera in as well. We're probably going to be doing some airbrush work first on this guy, I would think. So let me just see. Uh, Mongo. Dungeon Crawler Carl. Description. Aggressive food motivated baby velociraptor bonded to Princess Donut. As he matures across the books, his feathers grow longer and thicker, shifting into more vibrant mixes of blue, red, and a lingering youthful pink, while the skin around his eyes turns a bluish hue. So it seems like he's mostly feathers. So if we go, all right, I'm going to check on one other thing. So I'm thinking, this is a nice looking raptor. He looks very cool. We can throw some pink into that. So visit. We're going to use that as a reference. Share to me. Just going to grab that file. Best boy, battery, better become one. Maybe do just don't do operations. Floor 6 Mongo would be hilarious. I don't know of floor 6 yet. I'm still on floor 5. Don't spoil it. Give it. Give me 2 seconds to get this picture. Copy link. Put it there. Save image as. So we're gonna do a little bit of the blue as well, but we're going to change it up ever so slightly. So image properties. Go to the properties. Grab our blue boy. We'll also zoom in our camera. Now we'll transition to that. That works. So, only because I'm a traditionalist, he's got to have a bright pink mohawk and pink tail feathers. So the main body's going to be a really sort of vibrant, dark-hued blue leading out to a light blue. And then, hang on, did my camera reset? It did too. Ooh, garish. Hang on, I'll fix that. Desk. Okay, why did you do that? Okay. So yeah, we'll go pink. We'll go shades of blue through the rest, leading into the pink again, and also pink in his underside. I'm thinking for the undercarriage of what we see of it, probably a creamy blue. And there's a reason I said floor 6 and not redacted. Yeah, the one that they've got on the wiki, that seems a bit odd to me. I'm not sure about the vibrancy of the red. I mean, it'd have to be vibrant, but I don't think the skin color's that brown. It just seems strange. So I'm thinking because it's red and blue predominantly with pink, isn't it? Okay, so if we go red underside, blue over the top, and then the pink, and that'll break everything off. Now, I'm just thinking of the blue specifically. Hmm. There's a verbal description of him on floor 6. It would have been useful if it wasn't a spoiler. Oh, okay. Type it to me on, if you can, type it to me on Discord, not to give anything away. Or is he different now than he is on floor 6? He can't be. It's only one level. I don't know what level the photo was for. Yeah. But we're kind of gonna do the markings and bits and pieces. Yeah, I think that's how mix that'll do. Now, I'm gonna get some airbrushing happening. Does get bigger each level, don't recall. Well, he's where I am currently, he is maximum level. He is level 15, biggest he's going to get according to the story. Unless something changes between now and then. But I'm not sure. No, no, just under his shoulder. He's like just under shoulder height. I've made this particular model in between those two. I've resized it. Because too big he wouldn't have fit and too small he doesn't look right. So his physical description of him, that sounds useful. I'll dig up the wording. That does sound useful. Physical descriptions are, and I'm guessing physical description by the AI there, Bane, because that's is usually very biased, but just mixing through this blue paint. Okay, so we're going to do it in stages. Now, this blue is Tesla blue from scale 75. Seems like it's too thick. Hang on. Yeah, I don't want to get paint on this. I'm going to turn it around. Don't really have a lot of room at present. By donut, technically, if it says little smaller reaches the size of a turkey. Yeah. Now, spitty airbrush from the audio. Yeah, it's I've got too much pressure going through the pipes. Paint's a little bit too thick, and I've got not enough air coming out the reservoir. There we go. That should fix it. I need to go through and completely clean this airbrush. Let's try this. 2 seconds. Okay. So now let's try it. We'll go a little bit more. Oh, ad starting in 41 seconds. See you on the other side. I don't need to prop that up on something or take it completely off that base. So that was nearly bad. Um, hmm. Sit it there for the moment. Out of the way. Right. That's the vibrancy of the blue. I had ads that subbed for free. There are no ads for me. Bonus points if you get that reference. I had ads that subbed for free. Vaguely rings a bell. Bit of the old Pavlov's dog. Pinocchio. Paraphrasing Pinocchio. Ah, right. Now I get it. I didn't get the rhyme. I had music playing, so my brain didn't connect the dots. I got no strings, but now I'm free. There are no strings on me. That was the first video cassette I owned. To get slammed in the cage by an angry Spaniard. That is right. I got no strings to hold me down, to make me fret or make me frown. They've got strings, but you can't see. There are no strings on me. Pinocchio was a little bastard. Mother was a pine tree. You wouldn't dare. Hey, Adrian's brush. How you going? We are painting up Mongo today. Because Mongo won the vote. Movie I still have cassette. That's my favorite anime long shot. Wow. I don't know where mine went. It's probably still at my parents' place somewhere. Have you heard the urban legend or the conspiracy theory? Correction, Mongo always wins the vote. I used to get called Honest John. um, no comment. Um, the internet conspiracy that Donkey from Shrek is actually Honest John, or Lancewick, I should say. Yeah, getting out some Lampwick. Yeah, yeah, like it sort of if you listen to this if you really listen to what like the stuff that Donkey rambles on about, he makes references. He makes references to Pinocchio and certain things that happen to them both in Pinocchio. Just throwing down some of this putty. This is true. This is true. Um, then Pinocchio probably should have recognized him, but it was a traumatic experience, so quite possibly not. I just realized this blue is very derpy tiger blue. All I know is the other conspiracy theory. Snow White used to sit on Pinocchio's face and lie to me. That told me the truth and lied to me. Dude, you are gonna get me banned. Okay, give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. Oh, that's weird. Okay, and we're back. Sorry about the delay, folks. What I thought, what I want things on. I don't know how he does it, man. Seriously, he plays the system. Like I don't get it. I am. Thank you. Bye bye. But I do like that version of um, Judge Dredd. I like both versions. Really, the trick is to be ambiguous enough and not curse. True, true. Maybe that's why you don't you're not in a relationship. You're using your Twitch advice in real life. You know what? I'm 100% more subtle than some of the hot tub streamers. That's true. My friend's the same actually. In his youth, we used to like some of the crap that he used to get away with saying. Like there was one night we'd finished work, we were on a bus heading home, and he bus driver was rough, as Sydney bus drivers generally tend to be, especially the western suburbs ones where we lived. Um, he It was raining. We were waiting for the bus. This bus driver pulls up. He's in a foul mood, and my mate ruffles off his jacket, gets the water off him, and goes, "Oh, pick your ass with a feather." Bus driver looks him square in the eye and goes, "What?" He said, "Particularly nasty weather." Honestly, don't know how we didn't get punched some days. Why is the joke on me? I started a joke. Which one? What? But Mrs. Bouvier, I'm confused. Great intelligence. Right. Of great intelligence. No, I must have missed it. Sarcasm. Justin. Yes. Ah, the bricks. Either way, I did it the other day. Street preach arguing with a dude in Brisbane. Preach said, "Well, the public can decide." I piped up and said, "I find myself in the missionary's position." Lol. Bruh. I'm going to tap out because some god has uploaded all three Back to the Futures in high res on YouTube, and I'm going to binge before it gets taken down. Lol. Where we're going, Marty, we don't need roads. Please tell me when he laughed, because that would have been the icing on the cake. I already got them all. I think I've got the 4K remasters as well. True, true. So we'll dry this. And the big reveal. I'm also under 50, so bite me. Oof. So, start of the stripes. Then we'll go through and retouch as we need to. That's looking pretty good so far. I think Helgrat's probably the only elderly gentleman amongst us, and he's lurking. So 12 viewers. Actually, quite surprised that we got this many people on it. It seemed pretty quiet before. So now that we've got that, I'm going to go back in with our Tesla Blue. Ah, that's right. You had your birthday recently. Happy birthday. Happy bappity birthday. Now, for the pinks, we're going to do similar to what we did with the flame, the explosion, and go back to completely white. I'm going to need a wee bit of gap filler in there. Probably an anomaly for my age, under 30, but with full collections of stuff like I'd Love, Lucy, Gilligan's Island, Abbott Costello. Um, I have noticed a trend of younger people getting into older stuff. Mainly in sort of geek circles. So we're just blocking in these colors. We're not going to be doing much with them today. We're just getting a color scheme happening. And then we're going to build on it and elaborate from there. Because there's quite a lot. Even though it's all reds and blues mainly. Like I believe from the book, someone correct me if I'm wrong, the saddle and um oh, what's the damn word? The running gear, the riding stuff, the like the I forget what it's called. Um I've completely forgotten the word. Yes, tack. Thank you, fellow farm boy, coming to the fray to help a brother out. Oh God, my brain in words. Some days it's just horrendous. So now that we've got our blues down, going to look at our reds. Now, this is where things can get tricky because the undercarriage of this model, well, not the model, but the animal itself. There isn't a lot of red there, so we need to make it work. We don't want to make it too dark, but we also don't want it to be too bright. Um, there's another word for it as well. There's a fancier. I'm thinking haberdashery, but that's not it. I can't remember the word, but anyway, reds. I'm thinking of doing like a deep mahogany first, building up through the burnt red, and then lightly touching in some other reds. Um, but the hands and well, the claws, front and back, I don't want them to be bright red. Yes, haberdashery is hats. No, haberdashery is hats and linen and things like that, mainly hats. But there's another word similar to that in the same sort of pomp, but for saddlery and bridles and riding tack and equestrian supplies, but I've forgotten the name of it. So I'm thinking the mahogany, leading into the burnt, leading up to the red. And that way we can sort of sub in a little bit of burnt red or a burnt orange or a burnt umber along there as well. Rust oxide, maybe. So that will still give us the impression of red, but it'll offset against the blue. Because the problem we have with red and blue and pink is that's the bottom half of the color wheel, if you look at it from a luminary perspective. Um, they all inhabit the bottom half. So we need an opposing color. The opposite color of blue is orange. The opposite of red is green. The opposite of purple is yellow. But because we're in that bottom section and blue is our predominant upper color, I'm thinking if we sub in a bit of orange into those reds on the extremities of the claws and the extreme areas of the jaw and the face, that is an actual color name. Rust oxide is a color. So much so. Let me shake this up. Is that it? No, that's salmon. Where are you? I do use it quite heavily. This is ink tense oxide, but this is based on a rust oxide color. So that's it unmixed. It's got a very magenta and a magenta medium and an orange pigment. So when we mix it out, it's been sitting a while, so it's going to take a wee bit to mix. I know rust oxide is. It's yeah. It's the same thing. So is an ATM machine. So this is an ink tense rust oxide. So it's a vibrant red, but pulled back to be a bit darker. I think I've got another. No, that's burnt sienna, but I will need that anyway. Rust oxide is sort of a little bit lighter than that, but I can get that. Or is this it? I think this is it. Make 100% sure. No, that's an Inktense ochre. So yeah. Oh yo. Who? Me? Oh yo. Oh yo, get on out over here. From the old Bill Cosby joke. Well, skit. Um oh, some of the Warhammer names, so some of the Citadel paints Warhammer names are so ridiculous it's not funny. Um like I've got one here, Abyssal Black is the blackest black that Citadel do, but they've got 7 other different shades of black. But the one that's always gotten me, it's not a black, it's more of a green. It's one of my favorite colors, actually. Incubi Darkness. Describe to me what you think color wise when you hear the words Incubi Darkness. Because you're wrong. So, this is Incubi Darkness. It's an absolutely gorgeous deep teal. But when I think Incubi Darkness, I think green no, or blues over greens. But no, that's not how Warhammer does things. I think floor 3. Ah, well, yeah. Incubuses are generally red, aren't they? Incubi. So we'll start off deep in with some mahogany. Start to build in and I'm going in pretty heavy to begin with. And then we'll get some blends happening. Mordecai is the only one we directly see that is mentioned as existing elsewhere around the dungeon. Yeah, but from D&D lore, incubi are generally on the red side of things. What color was Mordecai as his incubi form? Does it say? So I'm going to be treating the red tones as, well, almost essentially as whites, really. Yeah, me neither. It just says he's an incubus. Fan castings. Who do we want to play who? But only fan cast the first book. Well, first and second book. Knowing Jeff Healy's going to be Princess Donut, or the voice of Princess Donut. Who do we want as Carl? Who's our Carl? I'm quite keen to see what Talon Warburton can do with the part. I reckon he'd be a pretty good fit, and he has a good rapport already with Jeff Healy, which would work in the show's favor. And that also leads us to Patrick Warburton later on. If need be. All of them. Jeff Hayes. Jeff Hayes should be the quick change artist for the entire thing. As much as I would pay money, good money, to see that, I don't think that's exactly what Fuzzy Door Studios has in mind. But in my mind, I'm going to, well, there's one character that I want to one person that I want to play a certain character, just because that's how I envision that character in my head, and that's Katja Grimm. I can't remember the girl's name. Uh huh. So for Katya Grimm, I would pick Kate Micucci. It's just how I see the character in my head. We need someone who is rememberable and forgettable, even though she isn't shown on screen. We need someone for Miss Beatrice. We also need um, voices for the AI or the various forms of the AI. And I'm thinking someone with an instantly recognizable voice would be the best fit for the AI. Um, but the further I'm delving into the books, the person that I initially thought would work for it isn't going to. And I'm leaning more towards there was a fan cast thing that said, what? Has to be Sean. Why? Why does it have to be Sean Bean? Because he's always the villain. He's not always the villain. He always dies. Ned Stark was a good guy. You've been watching too much. Well, most things. I don't know about John Candy as Luis. He he doesn't seem like the right fit. Um, who is watching a show called From? Horror show. I think it's in its third or fourth season. New to the channel, but I got one question. Why is the model you paint in a darkened area on the left hand in focus? Hang on. What? Sorry. I didn't mean to do that. It creeps back on the desk. But there we go. That's what we're painting at the moment. I've had to mess around with a couple of bits and pieces. I can move the zoom on the camera back, but thank you for pointing that out, Monk. Thank you. Um, okay, but who plays Mutka? How do you spell it? It's a very punchable face. Mukta, 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 Mukta. Which one's Mukta? But yeah, I know. Yes, smug. Punchable. Um, I did have someone in mind for that. Just in the offhand, Like when it happened, my brain was like, oh, like so and so. Um, but I'm thinking for the AI, and only because of his range, I think Bill Burnham would be good. We need to get Bill Burnham out of whatever hole he's been hiding in for the last few years, because he's got a quick wit. He's extremely sarcastic, has that right type of voice, and has that right kind of bit of an attitude problem, which would suit the AI really well. My initial thought was Weird Al Yankovic, but that wouldn't work. It might. I need. No, not Billy Crystal. Billy Crystal's got a good, recognizable voice, but not for the AI. He does. He does. He's brilliant, but he's not mean enough. You need someone who can absolutely destroy a person with words. And Bill Burnham, his on the fly thinking can eviscerate people, and he can put malice into his words as well. He would be perfect because he can also do that, like, overtly over sexualized AI as well. I'm thinking for the female AI voice, get out there and kill, kill, kill. Kate McKinnon would work, or um, the lady who plays the witch. Um, Thing is, it's going to be scripted dialogue, so they don't really need to improv. True, but it's very rare. Oh, Cascadia is an AI, is she? Oh, I thought she was. No, she's just an announcer, isn't she? That's right. Um, um, the in the Scarlet Witch show, the other one, the purple one, what was her name? She's got that right tonal afflection to her voice that would work. Hang on. Uh, Motivation. Catherine Hahn would be a good voice for that, I think. Um, just a Barnes employee. Oh well, there you go. Um, who else would be good? Oh yeah, true, true. Kind of gathered that. But I think Catherine Hahn would have the right inflection to do the get out there and kill, kill, kill. Um, I think. Oh God, I know it's overplayed to death, and he gets so much airtime and stuff because he's funny. Um, but the Bubkas, every single Bubka needs to be played by one person, and I think the best person to play all of the Bubkas would be Reese Darby. I think that would just it would work. You're potentially spoilering me, I can tell. But Reese Darby is the Bubkas. Look him up. It would be he would play it like you'd get him to play it serious, but I think that would work. And playing each one slightly different with different makeup and different contouring and stuff. You can obviously still see it's him, but it would be just that little bit different. But getting back to the original voice actor, isn't he dead? The guy who originally voiced in the television series or in the movies? So I'm pretty sure that dude's dead. But you need. I would want the same person to play Mordecai, and I think a person who could play all of those roles really well would be Bill Hader. He has the talent of immersing himself in a part, and I think he would play a good Mordecai. My initial thought was Matthew McConaughey, just for the hell of it. But I thought, no, 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 no. Someone who can do a good Matthew McConaughey, but not be Matthew McConaughey all the time. Whereas Matthew McConaughey's got that problem, doesn't he? But Bill Hader could pull it off. And there's like he needs to have the ability to have a dry wit, but not use it most of the time. And I think Bill Hader's got those chops. He is a damn good actor. He's not just a guy that does voices or a comedian. He is well versed and well scripted. But getting back to what I was saying, the TV show From in the second season, um, there's an African American kid um, who arrives on the bus. Not much spoilers if you haven't seen the show. I want him as Brandon. Is it Brendan? Brandon? The two brothers from the hospice care. He'd play a good Brandon, I think. He's got that sort of unsuredness about him that Brandon has. I think he'd play it well. Morgan Freeman as Carl, just for the heck. It was at that time he knew. It'd be funny if he was AI, but his voice is too deep. True, true. I don't even know of anyone that Morgan Freeman would be able to play. I just had a wild thought. All right. This is a deep cut here. But the gym boss on level 2, the neighborhood boss, Alan Richardson. But Alan Richardson playing Thad from Blue Mountain State. Bro. I need to get in. Hang on, I need to duck this down a bit. Alan Tudyk needs to be Mordecai. I mean, not Mordecai. Mongo. Very much looking forward to how they voice some of those bosses. Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things that like they've been done so well. Whoever they're going to get needs to needs to be quite hardcore. Um, Seth MacFarlane needs to be the first level boss, but Seth MacFarlane doing Consuela. No, no lemon pledge. Problem isn't it? It's already so good. They have to find someone who feels similar, and yeah, that's going to be the big factor for it. Because if it's not right, people will riot. No, no Consuela. No, Senor Griffin. No lemon pledge. McFarlane has to have a part in it. It's his production company. Prepotente. Who would be Prepotente? Alan Tudyk can do Prepotente as well, but we don't want to stretch him too thin. But Nacho Libre. True, true. You can tell I've been watching Spider Man. Spider Raptor, Spider Raptor. Does whatever a Spider Raptor does. Eats your face, slashes your guts. Look out, it's Spider Raptor. Who else? What about Ellie? We need two actors for Ellie, I think. Um, Kate McKinnon could play Ellie, pile on the prosthetics, and then sort of lose them all. Um, what's the girl's name that she's with? The carer, Amani. Who for Amani? I know someone, and I think she would do a really good job. I want to hear what other people think. Mike Myers is the AI. Oh, Mike Myers is good at characters. He's not good at a variation of a character. Like Mike Myers can pull off a lot of different things, but they're all masks. Whereas the AI has mood swings, and you need to be able to capture those swings correctly. Like Mike Myers would want to break into voices, whereas Bo Burnham would make his voice different, but it would still be the same character kind of thing. Hence the cursed pick part. Yep, true, true. But for um, Amani, I reckon the girl who played, and you're gonna hate me for this. I'll say the first reference for it. The girl who played Dora the Explorer in the animated movie, who later went on to be in The Last of Us season 2. I've seen her in something else where she played sort of quite an actiony character, and I think she would be a perfect Amani. Just the way Amani is in my head, I think it would work for her. Just horny AI all the time. Why couldn't we? Why couldn't we get Tom Cardy for it? I mean, apart from the fact that he's Australian, but he could quite easily play Florin, considering Florin has an Australian accent. I don't know. I don't know. I know he's on what is it? Critical Role, um Vox Mechanica, or Vox Machina, when the words want to come out of my mouth correctly. But I didn't think he was working on something for unless you've just spoiled me, you brat. He was the I and I love this. I love the fact that they went as far as they did with the joke to have Tom Hardy play the character. In Vox Machina, he plays a drow, and in the old D&D folklore things, all the different characters have different accents. Like um, gnomes are sort of Englishy Welsh. Dwarves are normally Scottish, Irish, or Gaelic, somewhere along those lines. Elves are usually high spoken British. And Drow because they're from the Underdark, are Australians. I love that. I absolutely love that. It's one of my all-time favorite little pieces of D&D lore. And that's why they got Tom Cardy to play the Drow Bard. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So, where is... There it is. Yeah, yeah. And just going in with a contrast paint to sort of start to get blends across everything. And then we can chop and change as need be for our details. Who's the voice actor for Ikora Ray? That would be. She's coming to Australia for Comic Con for Supernova. Um, she played the offsider in the second in charge in Firefly. Um, Gina Torres. I need to actually read all the books so I can spell these weird character names. Gina Torres. I haven't gotten to that character yet, but Gina Torres is absolutely probably the best choice. I don't know who the character is, or what they do, or how they interact with everyone, but yes, Gina Torres is a brilliantly talented voice actress as well as actress in her own right. And I do miss her in Destiny 2. They replaced her. It's like, hey, we can't afford to pay you because you're a good actor. So we're going to get a crap imposter to replace you who won't do anywhere near as good as a job. And then we'll probably bring you back for special things like we did with Nathan Fillion. Looking directly at you, Nolan North. I love you. You're brilliant at what you do, but you messed up Destiny for me. Messed it up big time. First, you replace Dinklebot. Then you replace Cade. No, that's not how this works. The only character class I have rolled in Destiny is a hunter. You will not take my guy from me. At least we didn't end up with Dinklebot. Hey, I liked Dinklebot. Dinklebot was the perfect ghost. I don't care what anybody says because they're wrong. I have very strong feelings about Dinklebot. Honestly, if Destiny 2 was a completely different game in the Destiny universe, and it wasn't a continuation of Destiny 1, then yes, I'm fine with Nolan North. But because you can continue your character and continue that storyline, you should be able to have Dinklebot. I will die on this hill. What's that brush? Who, Dinklebot? Make a good babka. Nah, I reckon Reese Darby. Reese Darby for babka. It's funny. Two of my biggest posts, or two posts slash comments at the moment on social media, are both to do with Dungeon Crawler Carl. The one of this that I posted on the Dungeon Crawler Carl group, and the other one is a random throwaway comment on Threads. Someone wanted a Dungeon Crawler Carl themed um, message, funny message for their Wi-Fi. Like, tell my Wi-Fi I love her, along those lines. And I went, huh, that's weird. This bubka's got Wi-Fi. And it blew up. um, Benedict Cumberbatch, Prepotente. Playing it as a Shakespearean stage actor. No other way will suffice. I will accept no substitutes. I do have my moments. like my ultimate fan casting at the moment, and I still want this to happen. It probably never will, but if they were going to make another Hellboy movie, and if that Hellboy movie was not going to be low budget, I want Alan Richardson as Hellboy. Minimal, like minimal prosthetics, minimal makeup. He just has the bulk and the size for a good Hellboy. And he can be funny. He can kill you with a teacup from 150 meters away. Like, the dude's got talent. He's a bit of a goof, and he's a bit of a fanboy all at the same time. And I think he would play a really, really good Hellboy. Like, not old grizzled Hellboy, but a younger Hellboy. Sort of. Jack Kesey's Hellboy was good. He was sort of a little bit older, a little bit sort of wise and mature. So in the age of things, it would probably be Alan Richardson as Hellboy, then David Harbour's Hellboy, sort of growing up and coming of age, Jack Kesey's Hellboy, then Ron Perlman's Hellboy, and that would be the order of things. But getting back to the more important matters at hand, Dungeon Crawl Carl. Who who else? I'm thinking Odette would need to be someone. Yeah, Stallone's too old, and he doesn't have the chadness about him. That's why I was thinking Alan Richardson for that, playing Thad from Blue Mountain State, and that would work. The Thad, not just any Thad, the Thad. And if you don't know what I mean and you haven't seen the show, just type in YouTube, or type into YouTube, Blue Mountain State, Thad's best moments. Because someone's probably made a compilation video. Oh, Maestro's a tough one because it's got to be someone that's easily hateable. Um, hmm. Hmm. It's a tough one. Oh, he needs to be young too. He needs to be sort of Oh, you know who would have been good? Um, Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen in his younger sort of times would have been a really good, really hateable um, maestro. The voice actor for GLaDOS for Cascadia. Hmm. Yes, but too confusably recognizable, I would think. That's why I was thinking like Catherine Hahn. Because while, yes, Catherine Hahn has an instantly recognizable voice, she also has that wryness about her. But that is a good choice. Do we do we see Cascadia at all? Don't like simple yes or no. No need to spoil things. Twist of finding out that she's not AI would be good. Yes, yes. And I think Catherine Hahn's facial features would look well mimicked, like well superimposed onto a fish or a mud skipper. Okay, we do see her in person. Well, then, yeah, like I reckon Catherine Hahn. And the one thing, every time I mention her name, every time I mention Catherine Hahn's name, my brain has the picture of her from um, the Scarlet Witch series of her doing uh the wink with the over exaggerated wink with the eye closed, and that to me is Cascadia's voice. I mean, a young um Jensen Ackles would have been a good Carl. Later version. It's the same dude, isn't it? It's always been oh, hang on. Wait. In the Iron Man movies or in the Jarvis TV series? Because it's John Bethany in the movies, but it's another fella in the series. John Bethany. I think it's no, is it what's his name? Is it John Bethany? Um Paul Bethany. Oh, we're fan casting Dungeon Crawler Carl. But the weekend, yeah, the weekend is approaching very quickly. Why? Who are you thinking for Paul Bettany? Blank stare of robot voice. Oh, yes, but that's. It, could he be too British? Oh, I'm just trying to think of who else. Um, oh, who would be I haven't gotten to her yet, but I've already got an idea. Um, Samantha. You're never too British to be evil. Ah, I think it's a requirement. Now, what makes you think you can stop me? I, unlike most Robin Hoods, speak with a British accent. But I'm thinking for Samantha, I thought Kate McKinnon would be good because she can do Unhinged, but I don't know enough about the character yet. I know what she is. Well, not exactly what she is. I know that she's ahead. I haven't actually heard Samantha's accent as yet, but I'm thinking, is it sort of a Texan Valley Girl type accent, perchance? That's like the wildest of guesses based on what I've seen fan art wise. Not even. Okay, so I haven't. I'm way off. I need to wait until I meet Samantha then. Vaguely European. It's a very unique one. Oh, what like Polish or Ukrainian? Somewhere around that. Very heavy on pronunciations and you have Russian accent, but Polska is a lot more fluid and has a lot more bouncing and rolling of tongues. Sort of somewhere around there, maybe. I don't know. I'll wait. I think is it this book I meet her in the fourth book or the fifth book? No, I have to wait then. I haven't heard her voice yet. I don't think. More unhinged psycho with vaguely Spanish tinge or an accent. I don't know, man. It's hard to nail down. All right, yeah, I'll wait. What about like supplemental characters like um well, not supplemental characters like she's very much main character energy, but Lucia Ma. We need someone to play. How old is Lucia Ma? Is she like 14? I know she's a kid and she needs to be completely and utterly unhinged. This is a long shot, but what about the girl who plays Wednesday? I'd like to see her go completely off script. Yeah, but people can do accents. It's easy enough. It's just getting the age right, getting the look of the age right. I mean, we could go Bella Ramsey. No, I'm kidding. I would not do that to the production company nor to anyone else. To infinity and beyond! If you get that reference, you're as evil as I am. Supervisor will get it. So this is just our base code. This is not the final product. Gordon Ramsay is one of the Bobcats for Comedy Gold. Yeah, but the Bobcats have to be nice as well. They have to be cordial and respectful to Princess Donut because of the charisma check. I mean, if we wanted to go hardcore comedy, if John Hurt was still alive, he would play the proprietor of the Downward Dog, and he would have to utter the lines, "Oh God, not again, again." And if you get that reference, we can be friends. Think about all the way he can be nice, but think about all the ways the joke pays off. I know. It would work, and it would work very well, but I think he might be a bit busy. So base colors is what I'm thinking, and sort of blending everything back through and shading it all. Does that look like a bit like a Mongo? You're a Mongo. Growler Gary, that's right. Um, John Hurt, but he's dead. um, and the reason I say John Hurt is because of Alien and Spaceballs. Oh God, not again. Growler Gary, Simon Pegg. Simon Pegg could pull it off, and he can take the punishment and sort of like just power on. That's right, yeah, the downward dog. About the grease gremlin gadget or some such. Um, Sort of a throwaway character. Um, hmm, that's a tough one. Oh, um, the dwarf from the last book from the Iron Tangle, the one that finds out. I'll just say there's an actor from a British comedy series called The Fast Show, and he plays this character who has the worst luck. Him. Um, he could he could probably play Grease Goblin, but anyone who could do voices, heavy Cockney accent could do that. But the one who finds out and realizes Cotton's on, this guy, he does a podcast at the moment. Um, I think it's him and his wife, but he's got this real he's got that broad Cockney accent, but he plays this character on the Fast Show that's all beaten and downtrodden, and he's like, I bet if I walk into that puddle, I'll sink up to me waist. And like people walk through this puddle, everything's fine. It's only sort of like a couple of millimeters deep. Like a bunch of puppies run through it, and a bunch of runners run through it, and a car rolls over it, and he goes, walks in, sinks up to his neck, and the skit always ends with him going, booger. That guy would be a good dwarf who realizes what's happened and what's going on. But Cockney. I'm just trying to think. Jason Statham. No, he's not Cockney. He's British. I'm really not sure. The budget just to pay for the talent in this thing would be insane. Uh, let's throw Meryl Streep in somewhere. Meryl Streep could be Odette. However, she would need to be an older style character. So I want someone African American, I think, for Odette. Pretty sure the books alone have earned earned enough cover to cast. Yeah, true. That's true. I think who else? Who else would be who would be a good character? Tom Holland as Morris from Floor 5. Yeah, yeah. Except Morris is a bit of a douche, and he'd spoil too much stuff. I don't know. There's just so many that you could like get away with doing. It'd be really difficult. Scared and underpowered more than that. Turns out all right. Oh, okay, okay. I'm only fairly early into this book, so Now, I've been wanting an excuse to do this particular eye for a while. Base of which requires white. Meet Samantha on late floor 5, so you'll see what we mean soon. Okay, cool. I'm probably going to be listening to it tonight after stream. So I got the house to myself, so I'll grab some dinner. And put the animals to bed, throw on my headphones, and probably finish the book. So I'm not streaming tomorrow, and nobody's here, so I don't have to wake up. This mini painting is quite fun, though difficult. It is, but any questions? I'm happy to help. What are you stuck on? Face on an orc. Aha. Orc faces are tricky. Depending on how you want to go about them, there is two different ways. There is the washed out orc look, which is greens going up to yellows, or greens moving up to yellows and then ultimately to creams. Or there is the Warhammer method of yellows and pinks, um, which is funny because if you read back through the original lore, the orcs are mushrooms and they're made of mushroom stuff. And being plants and not having to worry about food, um, their blood would be sort of chlorophyll based. So they would be, um, oh, wrong yellow. They would be, their blood would be red, hypothetically. Not red, green, hypothetically. So they wouldn't have any pinks in their makeup. So if you go D&D style orc, you would go that way. But if you went Warhammer orc, you would go the other way into the pinks. Chloroform blood. Enemy of bards everywhere. It's not the bard you got to worry about. It's the necromancer with a subspec in druidancy. Because they can cast animate skeleton and then animate vine and create plant golems to fight on their behalf. Necromancer if you want to. Well, that's the thing. There's a point of contention about ye old spell, animate skeleton. Can you do it on a living being? That'd be that'd be horrific. Actually, I don't want that color just yet. Boom, boom. So tell my players, I'll allow as long as you are prepared for me to use it against you. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Arbitrary rule that necromancers have to have dead things to animate does imply some serious power if the thing in question doesn't have to be dead first. True, but animate skeleton is also a can also be a wizard based spell. Okay, we seem to have crossed from Scar through drum and bass, through house, into metal. Funny, this conversation has come up shortly after reading a book with a necromancer named Bone Taker, and yes, that is a euphemism. Does he sound like Butthead from Beavis and Butthead? He said bone. Hmm. We've actually gone over time. Said, I don't mind if you don't mind. Everyone character, everyone glad to see him die off says. Like constant lewd jokes. Lol. It's a Freudian slip, isn't it? It's where you say one thing and mean your mother. I mean another. Keep going on these eyes for a bit longer and then we might call it. Just so I can get some food. Now we've gone into country. What the hell? Good eye for Mongo or brighter? Does it need to be more yellow? I've got a little bit more yellow. I'll just lightly blend it more yellow. Like that. Yeah. Yeah. I think we got the right. Now we've gone with what is it? The Ink and Lost Cities of Gold. What the hell is going on with the music? Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I can play with it. I can play with it. So I'll probably play more with it tomorrow as well. But as far as base colors go for the skin, and then we can work up from there, or the feathers as they were. And I'll work in more of the flesh around the face and bits and pieces. I don't want it to make him too skin looking because it's a raptor. So I'm thinking if I soften that down to a browny pink, um, there might be merit in there that we can work with. But let's see if there's who's actually on, if anybody's on. There's a handful of people. Um, oh, Batch Painter's on. We'll drop in on Batch Painter. Oh, so we're going to wrap it up there. So thank you everyone for hanging out with me. But I've got to have some food and go listen to some more book. I'll think about this guy. So let me just queue it up so we can drop in. Same category. Batch Painter, he's been up. So we'll drop some folks in on him. Oh, he's painting up that bust. This is a cool bust. I've wanted this one. What is going on here? Having some technical difficulties. Bear with me, folks. Following, same category. Come on. Batch. Start raid. What is going on?